As promised, one of my subscribers wanted me to do a push rod length check, show you guys how to check the length that your push rod should be. This is a big block Chevy. It's an early one. These are 1968 or 69, the 840 cylinder heads. And I'm going to show you a few different things. So this is a hydraulic lifter. It's got a flat tappet hydraulic cam in it right now. That cam's not even going to stay in this engine. I just mocked this up so I could show this. This is an adjustable push rod. And I have another one sitting here. And I also have a set of solid lifters, solid roller. And the reason I did that is because this is a new lifter. It hasn't been in oil yet. And the plunger, when you roll it over the nose of the cam lobe so that it's compressing the spring, it's also going to compress the plunger. The spring in the lifter is going to compress, and it's not going to give us an accurate read on if the tip of the rocker arm is centered or not. So that's why I got the solid rollers in there. Typically, if you're rebuilding a small block or a big block, and whether it's a Ford, a Chrysler, Chevy, whatever, if it's pretty much a stock rebuild, you're going to be okay with the stock push rods, but even then, they're almost never the perfect length. And then I was also going to show, this is like a higher end. These are US made. I like these roller rocker arms because they are a very low profile. You can get these rockers to fit under a chrome valve cover. They're a high-end roller rocker. So that's where we're at. We're going to check a few things with some different lifters, different push rod, different rocker arm. Anyway, let's get started. I don't have a timing chain on this, so I can just rotate the cam real easily by hand. And you can see what rotating, you hold that back a little, so you can see the lifter too. So I'm rotating the cam by hand. You see the lifter starting to go up. And again, the problem with a hydraulic lifter is if you look close in there, you see the push rod going up and down. I'm just pushing on that with my thumb. And it's because there's no oil in that lifter. It's not pumped up. So the plunger, the spring in the plunger just compresses. And that's why it's hard to get an accurate read at full lift, which is where it's at right now. So let's put it back on the base circle and we'll shove it back down, and let's put the rocker arm on. You don't need anything fancy to mark the tip of your valve. I'm just gonna mark it with a Sharpie. So it's marked. You can see that one's metal and that one's pink. And so let's assemble and let's see where we're at on the base circle. So here's a stock push rod. This is just a stock length, little wimpy 5/16 push rod, which I would not run. This is just for mock-up purposes. I always run at least a 3/8 in a big block. Put the adjusting nut on. So I have this on there. It's adjusted, so it's just barely zero lash. It's just barely past zero, so there's no play in it at all. Keep in mind, again, this lifter is not pumped up, and so you can just take your finger and you can shove that lifter down. So make sure you don't over adjust and you're actually just compressing the lifter, not realizing that you're already at zero lash. If you're running a hydraulic cam, which most people probably are, and if you do compress this down, it's gonna be wrong. Having that starting at a lower point is gonna change. You're gonna end up with push rods that are too long, because when the lifter does pump up, it's gonna make the rocker arm be too far towards the exhaust side. So now we're on the base circle of the cam. There's no lash. We got the tip of the valve marked, and we're just gonna take the rocker arm and we're gonna rub it. I'm just going from side to side, right? I'm just making a mark on the end of that valve. And now we're gonna see where that's hitting. So we're gonna loosen this up, just take it all the way off, so you guys can see what's going on. This thing out of the way. So the mark, there's where it rubbed off, right there. The push rod's too short. It's a little bit too short for this setup. And that is a factory push rod, by the way. So that's why I said they're usually pretty close, but they're almost never right. It's honestly, if you're gonna build an engine, you're better off checking the push rod length, or even if it's a bone stock rebuild. Because, for example, the base circle of the cam, which is this part of the cam right here, depending on how much the cam manufacturer, like these base circles vary. This could be ground all the way down almost flush, which that's going to make the lifter sit lower in the bore, which I suspect is the deal here. So that's how you gain lift in a cam too. You could actually gain lift by not making this lobe any bigger, just simply making the base circle smaller. So it's going to start at a lower starting point, and it's going to make it finish at a higher finishing point. What they do to get more lift out of a cam is they just start with a lower base circle, which is what I suspect. This is a Howard's cam, by the way. And so that lower base circle starting point makes the lifter sit lower in the bore, and then it makes the push rod a little bit shorter than it needs to be, and that's why we're not centered on the valve. We got our gigantic caliper for measuring push rods. Let me go right up against the beam. Okay, so right up against the beam, it's 8, and I call it 235. So we were 8.235. I'm going to go to 8.285. I had to go to my small block. The exhaust push rod on a big block is a lot shorter than the intake push rod. They have 2 different length push rods on a big block. This is actually my small block push rod checker, so I just have it threaded way out. And it's going to work for an exhaust push rod on the big block. So we're going to go 50 thousandths over, because that's typically the increment that you are going to get off the shelf if you order push rods. Okay, so let's check it right there. We're about 50 thousandths longer than stock. The adjustment is pretty critical here. You don't want to go past 0 lash and start to compress the lifter, because the 50 thousandths, now we got the checker, the adjustable checker push rod in here, and you could over adjust this nut and very easily push that down the 50 thousandths. We just lengthened that push rod. So don't over adjust when you're doing your checking, or it just makes it moot. You could erase your 50 thousandths that we just increased this over the length of this stock push rod here. So don't do that. We're gonna take the rocker arm and we're just gonna rub it, and don't push on this. Make sure you're just putting your pressure on the tip of the rocker arm. And we're just gonna rub it enough to make a mark again. Now let's take it apart and see what 50 thousandths extra length did. I know it's a little hard to see, but you can see the black line that I made, and the cleaned off spot now is right next to the black line. It's pretty close to the center, and that was with a 50 thousandths. In fact, I'm gonna say that's pretty good, honestly. I'm gonna make a line again with the Sharpie so it's easier to see, but the rub mark is right here. That's where it hit this time. So if we went 50 thousandths more, again, you're off the shelf unless you custom order push rods. They're gonna be in 50 thousandths increments. So if we went 50 thousandths more, it would be too much. And that's pretty darn good. If you have this centered on the valve with it on the base circle of the cam, and you roll this over the nose when we do this and put it at max lift, which I'm gonna show you, it's still gonna be centered on the valve. It should stay the same. You don't want the tip of your rock arm sweeping back and forth over the top of your valve, because what that'll do is it'll actually start to fish mouth. You know, think of the shape of the guide is round, and think of the shape of a fish's mouth when it's open. Work that valve back and forth, and it will fish mouth the guide if you don't have your geometry right. Normally there'd be a timing chain on here, and we would be rotating the whole crankshaft, but I'm gonna try just rotating the cam. But the other thing that I just realized is I better make sure that we are, oh yeah, that piston's way down there. I can see it. So I think we're good there. I just wanted to make sure that we weren't at top dead center, and I was gonna roll this cam around and bend the valve. That would not be good. We don't want that. So I'm gonna see if I can, now again, so we got a ton of compression. I'm gonna see if I can get the camera in there. Do you see how far that lifter plunger is pushed down under that snap ring? It's probably down a good 1/8 of an inch. And so that's why you need a solid lifter if you're gonna check over the nose. So I'm gonna show you the spring compressing, but again, we're not really accurate because we got a collapsed lifter there. So it just took however many 100,000ths of an inch off that push rod. But there we go at full lift. And I'm gonna put the solid lifters in and show you the difference. And so it's gonna be a little harder, but it's so much pressure on there now, it probably left its own mark. I probably don't even need to wiggle. Let me put the camera in the holder real quick and I'll see if I can get, yeah, there we go. So we got a little bit of side motion there. But yeah, there's a lot of pressure on that thing. So let's see, again, because of the plunger compressing, it's not completely accurate, but the valve, it hit just next to the black line on the exhaust side. So let's switch over to the solid roller and we'll switch over to that. And let's see if we can set a push rod up that has the same contact on the base circle of the cam as it does when it's at full lift, so that there's no sweeping motion. Got the solid rollers in now. I just put the same push rod in. I did not change the length of it, so we'll see how much that changes. And then this is a lot easier. So we've got a solid now, so we can, I'm just gonna snug this down so there's no play. And then we're gonna make, I remarked, I put this pink or purple, whatever. And we're gonna take this back off. It's not quite centered. The push rod needs to be a little bit shorter. So I'm gonna shorten it real quick and I'm gonna show you where that mark moves to. I'm gonna leave this mark and I'll show you the new mark. Okay, I shortened it 1 turn. I did 1 full turn on the push rod. We got this adjusted to 0. We're gonna mark it again. Let's give it a little more gusto here. And we'll see what it did. Didn't really change it too much. It's just barely towards the exhaust side. I just shortened the push rod some more and I remarked it. So let's see what that does. And then I'm curious to see how close this is gonna end up to a stock push rod. So that's pretty darn centered right there. I'm gonna roll it over the nose and we're gonna see if it stays that way. I am gonna zoom this in and hopefully you can see where the roller, where the tip of the roller is. It's just barely, to me it looks like it's off center towards the exhaust, which would mean the push rod needs to be a tiny bit shorter. So off camera, because I needed both hands, I had to put the camera down. I did that with it on the nose, so full lift of the cam. And the other thing is if you can, so you might not have a perfectly centered contact mark, but if the mark stays the same at full lift as it does when it's fully closed, that means the valve, the rocker tip is not sweeping the valve at all. So the push rod length we have right now, the mark stayed in the exact same spot. It is barely to the exhaust side, but it's in the exact same spot, which means the geometry is pretty happy, because again, it would cause the tip of at full lift, the roller would be in a different contact, the roller tip, than it is at the base circle. And it's staying exactly in the same place throughout the whole cycle of the valve lift. So we got no sweeping action, which is good. So now let's see how close this push rod is to the original stock push rod in length. Let's see where we are compared to the stock push rod with the roller setup in there. This was at, let's go to this guy, which was our checker push rod. And we ended up at about 8,150. So quite a bit shorter with the roller setup. And I don't know the height of those lifters that I shoved in there. Those are just some used Those are actually out of the race car. But just for demonstration purposes, it gives you the idea of what's going on here. So it is important. Could we just put in a stock lifter and run a stock push rod? Yes. Would it be ideal? No. Are you going to put enough miles on one of these classic car engines to ever wear a valve guide out? Probably not. But if you want it to be right, if the contact is towards the intake, it means the push rod's too short. And if it's towards the outside, it means it's too long. And even if it's not perfectly centered on the valve, if you can find the sweet spot where through the whole rotation of the cam, in other words, from the base to no lift to full lift and back, and that mark stays the same, that's your sweet spot. That's what you want. Unless you're just drastically off to one edge, which that's not good either. So that's that.